All right, everyone. I'm at 400 yards now, and the reason I know is because I got my SIG rangefinder. Okay, I got this from Optics Planet. Not too expensive. I don't think it was that much more than 200. I remember the exact price, but that's how I've been able to verify that I'm at 400 yards right there. Let me put this down for a second. So today's goal, right, is because I've been shooting the primary arms 1 to 8. And the SwampFox Arrowhead side by side. I've already kind of determined that at close distances, I like the acss smaller horseshoe better. I wanted to see at longer distances if I was going to like the 10x magnification better. Now, when I was on the ground, the first time I was shooting this, it seemed like the SwampFox was a little bit more comfortable. The second time, it seemed like the primary arms was a little bit more comfortable. So what I'm going to do now is what I've been doing rather before I started the camera. I've just been because when you're in the prone position, you're a little bit more stressed, right? Your back is arching up. I'm basically picking up the scope or picking up the rifle and just looking at it. And to tell you, I kind of like the primary arms better. Seems like I'm able to get on target faster. Now it is a little bit smaller. It's only an 8x, so you have a slightly bigger field of view. But it also seems a little bit clearer. It seems that way. Okay. I mean, I did adjust the focal thing in the back, but it seems like I'm liking the primary arms a little bit better. Anyway, let's shoot this at the 400 yards now. We're going to shoot this twice because I don't know where my bullets are going to necessarily land. I don't want them mixing, so we're going to shoot one rifle. We'll do the primary arms first. We'll go down there, we'll mark the bullets, and then we'll come back here and we'll shoot the SwampFox, and then we'll see what we do with that, okay? So let me get my ears. Where are my ears? Let's put this back here. Let me pause you guys while I look for my ears. All right, so I got my ears, and I want to remind you guys that today's video is sponsored by Tactical Flip-Flops, okay? Don't know who these guys are, they don't pay me. But since you guys are going to be looking at my flip-flops while I'm shooting prone, I figured I'd give them credit for the video. I'm gonna pause the camera, drive down there, see what that looks like. We'll mark the holes. Then we'll, I just shot that with the primary arms. We'll mark the holes, and then I'll come back. Actually, I'm not even gonna move the camera. I'm just gonna pause it, take a quick drive down there, and then come back. All right, so I just when I took a look at it, I managed to get 3 out of the 5 shots on the paper, and it seemed like the 3 shots were like all below the bottom half. So I think I might need to adjust the zero a little bit higher, probably 2 clicks higher, because I think some of the shots are hitting a little bit low. Let's shoot the other gun now. Let's see what that does. All right, so I did have a little bit more difficulty finding that eye relief. You know, getting into focus, getting my head on the right position. The primary arms definitely seems to be working a little bit easier for me. I mean, that's just my practical experience having shot these two scopes side by side. On that last, I think for the last two shots, the sun came out, but I was still, I don't think it affected me too much. Let's go down range and see what I did. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so with the SwampFox, oh wow, look at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, let me go get my tape measure. I forgot to bring that out. All right, so this is the Ruger MPR with the SwampFox. We have at 400 yards, we've got a 10-inch cluster, and then which opens up to a max of 13 inches. So 13 inches at 400 yards with the Ruger MPR. When we shot this with the Palmetto, which had the primary arms, it seems like they drifted probably low. I think I gotta adjust that a little further up. But let me tell you, I mean, just my feeling is that, like looking through the glass, I think I like the primary arms better. I mean, it seems like it's a little, maybe a tiny. I mean, there's really not that much of a difference, to tell you the truth. So at shooting it at 400 yards, not that much of a difference. Okay. I think I'm having a little bit of a easier time with the primary arms. You know, finding that eye relief and getting on target, but that just might be me. On a different day, I might do a little bit differently. But what is unquestionable is that at closer distances, like at CQB distances, the primary arms with the smaller, thicker horseshoe was working a little bit better for me. So I'm thinking I'm going to send back the SwampFox and get a second primary arms 1-8. All right, so I'm going to take another 5 shots with the primary arms on top of the Palmetto. Now, obviously, the Ruger MPR, which I'm shooting with the SwampFox, is a better rifle. It's got a better trigger, longer barrel. But I want to take another 5 shots with the primary arms 1-8. What I did is I did adjust the scope. I moved it up 2 clicks and then 2 clicks to the right because it seemed like I was shooting a little bit low. Let's take 5 shots and see what happens. And like I said, today's video is sponsored by Tactical Flip Flops. All right, let's see what I did. This will probably be the last shots for today because I gotta get to my fighting practice after this. All right, here we go, guys. So yeah, I lifted it up. So yeah, everything's centered. I moved it to the right 2. I should have moved it like another 2 because I could see everything came still on the left over here. So this is with the primary arms on top of the Palmetto, and everything is, let's see, that is at 10 3/4 inches. Let's say 11 inches. 11 inches all the way to this one with that fresh burn mark right there. So we got an 11-inch group with the Palmetto AR-15. Right, the ones that, so 1, oh, make sure I back you guys up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11-inch group at 400 yards with the Palmetto AR using the primary arms 1:8, and yeah, that's the scope I'm going to stick with. And I'm going to return the SwampFox, and I'm just going to get a second primary arms with the ACSS. For no other reason, I'm used to it. I have lots of scopes that have the ACSS on it, so it makes sense to, like, I mean, if it's coming down to, like, yeah, I got two of them, they're both about the same, it makes sense to just stick with the one that you with the reticle that you've been using and that you're comfortable with, and just keep working with that. So SwampFox going back, it wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't that much better. All right, and it was like an extra $100. And it's going back. I'm just going to get another primary arms, 1:8. I was considering getting the Raptor, which is a first focal plane, but I'm deciding against it because with the first focal plane, when you zoom out in 1x, that horseshoe is like tiny. It's like a 2M-way dot, which is not usable for like CQB kind of stuff. So that's why I'm going to stick with the second focal plane. I'll do another video on that. So thanks for everyone for watching. Again, that was just 400 yards right now. Make sure you guys are following me on all my channels because they back each other up. On YouTube, I got Absolute Gun Rights, Pocono Shooting, and the original Safa channel, which goes back to 2006. And then on Odyssey, Pocono Tactical. On Rumble, Pocono Tactical, and on BitChute, no, I forget. I think I'm BitChute on Pocono Guns, or vice versa. I don't know. Look for either Pocono Guns, Pocono Tactical, or it'll be one of those two. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. And like I said, today's video sponsored by Tactical Flip Flops. I mean, it makes sense. All the other channels seem to be sponsored by somebody, so I'm gonna have Tactical Flip Flops sponsor me, even though I don't get anything from them and I just made this name up. Talk to y'all soon.